So, are we just gonna wear desperation on us like it's perfume? I was confused with Tierra tonight. I was so confused and I was so disappointed. Very, very disappointed. And I'm gonna just say, girl, you need help. Lots and lots of help. You need to be wearing self-respect than wearing desperation. But let's go ahead and get into it. So, it's the Sweet Tea Show and I'm back with another review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 8, Episode 4. So let's go ahead and get into it. Once again, y'all already know if I'm looking down, y'all know I got my notes. Y'all see them right here, so that's that. So we start the show off with Joc and his radio station. Y'all all know that Joc has a radio station. And who is his guest star? Why am I not surprised? Miss Karlie Redd herself. So Joc is congratulating her for being engaged. She says thank you. They talk about how he's happy for. They show little clips about how they was flirting once upon a time on last season. And Joc asked her what's new with her, what's going on with her. So Karlie Redd says she wants to take sex classes or be a sex coach or some mess she said. And Joc was just like, oh, do you still do that Indian style with your feet? And I'm just looking at my TV like, somewhere your fiance, Karlie Redd, is listening to this station or seeing this on TV. Or are you going to tell him? Okay? Or the streets are talking. So I'm going to just leave it as that. Karlie doesn't answer the question, but she does says, Joc, are you jealous? Joc changes the subject. And it's just like, y'all well flirtatious on each other's forehead. Like, y'all can read it. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just thought it was crazy. So, that was that. Moving on from that, we get this scene with Akbar. She meets up with Tierra in the gym. Tierra is beating the fuck out that punching bag like somebody should beat some senses in her head because she obviously ain't got none. So Akbar talks with her, what's going on, why you beating the bag like this, and so on and so on. So Tierra says, oh, honey, I'm getting in shape for my baby daddy. He out here looking like a whole snack. And I'm looking like, really? He looked like something that's been in the vending machine way too damn long and it's overdue. But okay. So anyway, she sits up here talking about I'm getting back in shape for him. He told me he wants to get back with me. We've been talking when we was in jail, while he was in jail, and he told me he wants to marry me. He don't want me to get my tubes tied. He wants to have another baby. And pause. As I'm listening to Tierra says this, I'm looking like, okay, one of the episodes, you said y'all was mad with each other. You were mad with Scrap. You have not been talking to, you haven't been visiting him. Now you sit here on this episode and say y'all been talking on the phone and he been saying this, that, and the third. But what I can't understand is, why would you believe anything that comes out of a jailbird mouth? Don't you know a man would say anything when he's in jail? Of course he gonna tell you that because you're the only one who can answer his phone at the time being. He knows that it's convenient for him. Why would you listen to anything a jailbird say? That's their first line. I'm gonna get my life back together. Me and you gonna be doing this. We're gonna be doing that. And he wasn't doing that before. He ain't gonna do it now, sweetheart. Anyway, Akbar says you need to get away from that devil dick. In other words, fuckboy tendencies. She sits up here, I need the devil dick. And I'm just like, that's what's wrong with females now. That's what's wrong with females now. As pretty as you as pretty as you are, Tierra, you can't find another man. Scrap is the only man that you can have. Then she goes on about how she was married. I guess the marriage didn't work out. I guess he cheated. He showed that he was a fuckboy. So that's that. She's divorced, and now she wants to get back with Scrap. So my thing is, having Scrap not shown you that he was a fuckboy in the past? He chose Tommy over you. He fucked Karlie Redd over you. So, and then he went to jail. So what is he? All right, sis. Moving on from that scene, because I can't even talk about it no more. Moving on from that scene, KK is still in her feelings. We see Scrap over there to her house. KK still doesn't want to talk about the whole dad situation because KK is lying. KK knew that man was alive. KK didn't want that man in her son's life. And that's what that was. She's one of those mothers. She didn't want the dad around because the dad was hoeing around on her. So she wanted to be spiteful and keep the child out of her keep the man out of her child's life. But in reality, that's really hurting the child. And that was messed up. And I think that's what KK did. So she's still in her feelings about that. So she tries to change the whole subject completely and gets on Scrap about the whole fact. Well, I heard that Tierra is having you a house party, throwing you a welcome home party, and I will not be attending. I'm going to get along with her for King's sake, my grandson's sake, but you know how I feel about her. I don't care about her and this, that, and the third. So Scrap lets her know there's nothing going on between him and Tierra. They're just co-parenting. And she was like, well, do Moniece know about this party? Scrap said, stay out of his business. And she was like, well, I like Scrap. And then you see, I mean, not Scrap. Oop. KK says she liked Moniece. And you see in the confessional, KK's all like, well, Moniece is a good mother. Even though she gives her baby daddy problems, she don't give my son problems. And she's out here making moves. And she got me at the best 2 or 3. I mean, the best 2. I'm looking at, she making moves. What is she doing? I still haven't heard none of her music, even though she can sing. She's still on this show acting crazy. So, what moves is she making? Oh, Mona Scott moves. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so moving on with that. So, Scrap sits up here, tells his mom to mind her business. KK catches an attitude and goes up the stairs with the damn dog. Moving on from that, we see Scrappy limping down the street with a big gift in his arms. He come in the house. Bambi is on the couch, looking like any day now she about to burst. Scrappy says he has a surprise for her. She opens up the gift. It's a picture of her when she took for her pregnancy. Very cute. I always wanted to do that when I was pregnant, but I just didn't. But it's very nice. I actually want like a family photo like that, like a family picture of me and my girls and my boyfriend and whatnot. That's what I kind of want to do. I want like a big portrait I can put on my wall because my walls are kind of empty. But anywho, I'm going to get a new house anyway. So anyway, moving on from that. It was a nice picture and Bambi is definitely glowing. Some women look so beautiful when they pregnant. And Bambi's a pretty girl anyway. And then you got Scrappy sitting up here. You so brutal. You just a brutal woman I ever seen pregnant. And I'm just like, Scrappy, for once, can you please use the right vocabulary? It's beautiful. Beautiful do not have the word art in it. Please stop trying to force that on us. But it's funny at times because I like Scrappy's different. Anyway, Bambi says, this your way trying to get you some? He says no, but deep down that man wanted him some. But anyway, Bambi gets this phone call. It's her mother, Cece. She says, can you come get me? You won't believe what that crazy ass Mama D did. So, as she explains herself, Bambi gets up and said, let me go get this woman. Scrap stays home. But Scrappy already knew it was some bullshit. He know his mama up to no good. Next scene, we see Carly Red going to the doctor. She basically talking about, you know, she can be a high risk for this baby. And I'm not going to get into that because me personally, I mean, this is just my opinion. I know somebody going to bash me, but it's just my opinion. I don't believe women should have children over the age 40. That's just me. I feel like once you hit 40, you don't need to be having no more kids. I feel like that's just weird. By the time the child is a teenager, you in your 60s, you're basically supposed to be a grandma at that age. Your first older children probably having children they goddamn selves, if not, you know, forming some type of, you know what I mean, relationship. I just feel like it's a high risk. It's like, why do you want to be a mom again at that age? And raising teenagers is going to be hard as hell. I'm not even prepared. Like, my kids are 9 years old. I'm not even ready to have the birds and the bees talk with them yet, let alone be in my goddamn 60s when a woman supposed to be going through menopause and enjoying the rest of her life, not going through diapers and breastfeeding and pull-up training and start school all over again, parent conference and teacher conference and why go through all that stress again? Is your kids making good grades and worrying about bullies and, you know, buying all this new stuff for them that's coming out, electronics, clothes, you know, etc. Like, why? Your oldest children almost grown and you almost done with them. Why start that all over? But, you know, some women enjoy that feeling. Some women like being mothers. I mean, not saying you shouldn't, but, you know, some women just enjoy it. But I just feel like at the age 60, I'm not really trying to do that. And I'm not saying Carly Red is 60. I don't know how old Carly Red is. She could be in her late 40s. She could be in her early 50s. But she still looks good. I will give Carly Red that much. She does look good. I'm not saying she don't. I just don't necessarily believe in having kids that late. Like, that's just me. Call me crazy, whatever y'all want to say. But I just feel like after 40, you don't need to have it. You know, in your early 30s, early 20s, you know, but... But, you know, I understand some people get married and they want to have their partner's child. So, I see where that's coming from. But I talk too much about Carly Red. So, moving on with that. Bam meets up with her mom at the Motel 6. And it's a nice Motel 6. The hotel was clean. I ain't seen no roaches or whatnot. The AC, like, it actually worked in there. Like, they actually mopped and buffed the floors and shit. And the reason why I said it, because I lived in a hotel one time when I was going through my divorce. And that was a shitty hole for me. Like, that place to this day still gives me nightmares. The fact that me and my kids actually had to live in one until we got on our feet. Well, until I got on my feet or whatnot. So, anyway, moving on. Anyway... Bam sit up there and talk with her mom. Bam's let her mom know, like, this has got to stop. I know Mama D ain't easy to get along with, but this is not about y'all. This is about my child that I'm bringing in this world. And Bambi lets her mama know, like, look, I grew up with a lot of drama in my life, and I don't want my child in that type of mess. I don't want my child growing up seeing his grandma can't get, both his grandmas can't get along or whatnot. Cece still got it in her mind, she not doing nothing wrong. She not seeing that you're not being a bigger person in this situation too. You ain't always got to entertain Mama D with her bullshit, and that's what Cece, and that's what Bams was trying to tell. Bams was basically letting her know, like, look. Ever since my dad died 15 years ago, you have not been the same. You drank. You always a hot mess. And I just can't deal with that no more. And I understand exactly where Bams come from. Because when I was pregnant, I didn't want a lot of drama in my kids' life either. I don't want my kids seeing their family members acting like lunatics, acting like resolving issues always got to be about fighting and cussing each other out, bickering all day long. Like, I wanted my kids to come in a healthy environment. So I understand exactly where Bams come from. Not everybody will be with the bull. Some women that have children actually grow the fuck up. And they don't have time for the buffoonery. What they used to do before they had kids is not what they want to continue to do with kids. Not everybody's like Carly B out here. Shout out to that. Y'all catch that shade. But I mean, nothing wrong with Carly B. She is who she is. But what I'm saying is, not everybody want to be out here busting coochie out wild. Nobody out here want to keep fighting and acting crazy at parties and designer places, fashion design week. Nobody want to be on the radio talking about some, I don't swallow Plan B, I slurp nut and all this stuff. Nobody wants to be doing all that. And that's exactly what Bams is saying. And Bams don't want to bring her child in this world and Grandma 1 and Grandma 2 over here act like they ain't got good damn sense. Y'all out here talking about some kicking each other out of the palace. You over here disrespecting this lady in her house. Nobody wants to bring their child into that. So they get up, Bambi get up and tell her mama, let's go, because this is not going to work out. So they get up and they leave. Jock is in the kitchen cooking breakfast. In walks in his new girlfriend. Jock says this is the woman of his life. He's in love. That's what he said. He's in love. So Jock says her name is Kendra. She's a district attorney. And what I couldn't figure out is, really, Jock, you bringing another woman on here with a good-ass career to ruin her reputation and make her look stupid. You didn't learn your lesson with Miss Piggy, a.k.a. that's what Carly Red is called. I don't remember her name, but she was also an entrepreneur. She was his limo driver. She was a realtor. And I forgot what else that girl did. And she came on there fucking with Jock, and Jock made her real stupid. He chose all his baby mamas over her. He messed around with Sin on the side with her or whatever. Or he was cheating on her with Sin and Carly Red and, you know, just back and forth bullshit. So my thing is, Kendra, you look like you very smart and intelligent. And all I'm going to say is, from what I'm seeing, Ja has not been open with her. Ja and her haven't went on no dates. Ja and her haven't been out in the public eye. So what I'm trying to figure out, if y'all love each other, what kind of man don't even take you out in public, not even to the date or out to the park or to the movies? I wish a nigga would. Okay? It's not that hard to find. You know, it's not that hard to put two and two together. You a district attorney and you can't see Jock got something up his sleeve and she's sitting up here to my son. It almost look like you been single or whatever. Like you putting out there that you single. Because Jock is... Child, so her idea of their first date should be going to Cardi Red engagement party, which I don't even understand why she invited Ja. She claims she invited Ja because she's over him or whatnot. And I get sometimes you can be friends with your exes, but let's be clear. Ja and Cardi have a past where they flirt with each other, they hate each other, they fuck each other, they not fucking each other. You know, you owe me an apology, I don't owe you an apology, here's your apology. It's like, why would you want that type of energy around your engagement party? If it was one of those, I would have more understood if she would have brought, let me see, Benzino or Life Jenkins. Honestly, none of them to your engagement party. Why would you want any of your exes there? But the fact that you on and off again with Ja, it doesn't make no sense. And his girlfriend feels like that's the perfect date. Maybe it's just me personally. I don't want to participate in none of my boyfriend's ex bullshit. No birthday parties, no housewarming, no pool parties. Unless it's a child involved, y'all had kids together, I would participate in that, bring a child a gift or something. But if it's nothing like that, I don't want to participate in nothing that you used to fuck, okay? That don't make sense to me. And Jock obviously don't want to go. He's telling his girlfriend it's not a good idea. She wants to go somehow because she wants to be out in the open. Girl, have Jock take you to the movies some damn well. Or the library. I don't care. But going to Cardi Red engagement is not going to be where it's at. You're going to wish you hadn't got on this show with Jock. Out of all the men in the world, sweetheart, you a district attorney. What the fuck are you doing entertaining somebody like Jock? And I like Jock. But Jock got some fuckboy tendencies and I just... Whoo, child. Moving on from that. Akbar is in the studio. I'm not going to get into the whole thing about her and her kids because I don't necessarily agree with it. But I do hope that she gets herself together and get her kids together because it's important to have these kids all together in one roof with their mother instead of being separated far away. And you know what I mean? That way they won't resent her because, you know, some kids don't understand mom didn't get on her feet, you know, and she couldn't do this for me. Some kids resent you for that. You know, they be in their little feelings and they're entitled to feel how they want to feel. So I hope she get that settled. But let's get to the part that she told Moniece that Tierra is hosting this part, throwing this welcome home party for Scrap. So Moniece sits up here and says, oh, I wasn't aware of that. And she was like, so what's the status with y'all? So Moniece says, I already gave him a welcome home party. I gave him the vagina. So what he got going on? I don't know if I should show it with flowers or a bat. I said, oh, here come that bullshit. And she told me, so I moved all the way down here just to be with her. I'm like, Moniece, take your ass back to your son because this is not going to be pretty, okay? It's not even worth it. Scrap gives me the feeling he like to see women fight over him. I keep thinking about that one scene when he had Tierra and Tommy at that table fighting over his ass. And all he can worry about is, look, is y'all going to have my back for when I go to jail. Scrap like that type of shit. I don't care what none of y'all say. Scrap might got everybody else fooled that he got out of prison and he a changed man. You might be a changed man in them streets, but you're not a changed man how you handle your women. You got everybody else fooled, but you ain't got me fooled. I'm sorry. Once a fuckboy in my eyes, always a fuckboy. And that's period point motherfucking blank. Okay? Moving on from that. Scrappy and his mom is talking. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Scrappy and his mom is talking. He invites Cece to talk. Scrap says it's time for y'all women to apologize and get y'all shit together. Because my little boy finna come in this world and we can't have no more of this distant drama between the two grandmas. We're not doing that. So he said, I think both y'all need to apologize to each other. Obviously, there was some words and there was some things that was said to one another and it needs to be apologized. So Cece says she apologized for all the negative things that she said about Mama D and disrespecting her in her house. Mama D says she apologized for putting her out of the palace. That was very petty and childish. Mama D also brings up the fact, you said you was gonna beat my ass. I'm sorry, but you can't beat my ass. Scrap says, look, whoa, look, let's just agree that we apologize and be sincere about that. Because you can tell Cece if I say something, I'm like, oh, Mama D finna stir up the shit again. But both ladies end on a good note. They hug it out. They said they done with the hating. So that was that. So now we get to this scene where it's Scrap's welcome home party. And Scrap got on his face like, I don't want to even be here, but Mona Scott told me to come because this girl is throwing her vagina at me. So let me just sit my ass down and go. So Scrap is there. His brother is there. And it was like only like 5 people. It looked like a slumber party. Just a bunch of drunk people or whatever. I don't know. And Tierra is all in this man's face, putting her booty all up on him, putting her vagina in her face, telling me, I got a gift for you. Scrap opens it up. It's a box with a key in it. He said, what's this? She told me, a key to my house into this. And I'm just like, all the women watching this show, take notes. Have self-respect for yourself, okay? It's one thing for a man to be thirsty. It's never okay for a woman to be thirsty. Stop throwing your vagina out here like hand grenades in Lil Wayne voice. Okay? Have self-respect for yourself. Not real men don't like shit like that. He doesn't want you. He's been and she even said in her confessional, she knows he been curving her. So what are you doing, sis? What are you doing? And watching this on TV, a nice, good man can see this and be like, damn, I want to talk to her, but I can't talk to her. Look how she acting. It's ridiculous. I almost turned my TV, but I had to keep taking notes so I could do my video. So, Scrap gets his text message. He tells his brother, look, I got to go. Just calm it down for me. Tierra turns around. Where his ugly ass going? Now he ugly. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was kind of funny how she said, where his ugly ass going? So he guts in the car. It's Moniece. Moniece says, how come you didn't tell me about the party? So he sits up here. Fuckboy tendencies. He sits up here. It wasn't my party to invite you and tell you about. Look, if you want to go ahead and get mad, Moniece stopped him right there. She said, I'm not mad. I just wish you would have informed me about it. And they kiss and they drive the fuck off. And I'm just like, all right, moving on from that. Carly Red is talking to her man. She's talking about how she's a changed woman. She's trying to be more mature. And she doesn't want Pooh in her life because Pooh is always touching and feeling on her man. And then she said Pooh around here to myself, I licked her ass and all this stuff. And her man's looking like, we know that's not true. Then they talked about why she invited Jock. She said that Jock is just her friend. There's nothing going on. Then she talks about the whole baby situation. So basically they just agree if they need to rush and do the baby first and then do the wedding later, they can do that. I guess. Moving on from that. Scrappy, Bams, Mama D, and Cece think they all going out to eat. But really, Scrappy got a surprise. Scrappy got this nice big ass house for him and the Bams so he can finally move out of Mama D's palace. They got a palace of their own. So Bams is so overwhelmed. She's happy. She sees some of their stuff is already moved in there. She was very happy. Scrappy lets it be known. Cece got a room there. She can stay. Mama D is in her feelings. Mama D goes outside to my side. I know you putting your poison in. I don't like this. And she goes outside. So Cece goes behind her and follows her and said, what's wrong with you? So she told my son, you putting your poison in my child. You don't need to have no room there. How you going to have a room before me? And I'm looking like, Mama D, you is just a senile as they come. You have your own palace. Since episode started, you want this woman out your house. The woman has been nothing but disrespectful. The woman has been nothing but talking trash about you, making threats towards you. Y'all argue every chance you got. It got to the point you had to call your son while you in your room just to talk to him because you didn't want to see this bitch face. So why does it matter they moving her in his house? You have your own palace. You don't need a key to their house. God damn. So they go to arguing back and forth. Scrappy comes out there and says, look, I got new neighbors. And see, this is exactly why white people do not want black people in their environment because of shit like this. I don't blame Scrap. I got new neighbors. Y'all take that shit elsewhere. Next thing you know, Cece gets all the way mad and just says she can't deal with this no more. She can't deal with this. She goes in the house. And I can't deal with it no more either. Next scene. So Tierra pops up at Scrap's house. I think which is Cheyenne's house, his sister's house. She has an attitude written all over her face. Scrap already know what time is. So Scrap says, what's going on? Talk to me. So she says, what I can't understand is, why did you leave the party like you did? I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. And I felt some type of way. You didn't even say kiss my ass or goodbye. No text message, no nothing. So he says he had to go. A lady friend picked him up. She said, who is this lady friend, Scrap? Are you fucking her? So it goes from that to, well, why are you worrying about it? Do I ask you? She said, don't play with me, Scrap. Who is your lady friend? He tells her Moniece. Moniece who? He said Moniece Slaughter. Are you for real? The one that talks about people, children, the blogs, having threesomes and all this shit. Are you for real, Scrap? You like hurting me, don't you? Then she hold up and slap this man in his face. And I'm like, whoa, did I miss something? He's letting you know he don't want you, sis. So, if anything, you hurting yourself. You making yourself look stupid. And I was not here for her putting her hands on that man. You had no right to put your hands on that man. I'm glad the producers had pulled back and stopped her. And thank God Scrap did not retaliate and knock the shit out of her, because that's what she deserved. He instead had some restraint and told her to go. And he went upstairs and locked that bitch out the door. And that's exactly what she did. And she out there banging on the door, making herself look more suspicious. I was a Scrap. Oh, really? He got me fucked up. He gonna lock me out. Really? Girl, you got yourself fucked up. He don't want you. Have some self-respect and walk the fuck off. That didn't make no sense when you put your hands on that man at all. Then Scrap talking to herself, shame on me for thinking she was a mature, changed woman. Yeah, shame on you. And let this be a lesson to y'all. You better start watching who you lay up with and have kids with. They might look same, but not everybody is same. Okay? They might be the opposite. I learned that the hard way. Watch who you have kids with. Watch who you lay up with. And that's all I got to say about that. Tonight's episode was okay. Sorry it was a little late. I was up playing a game last night. I was supposed to do my video yesterday. I just didn't do it. But I'm doing it now. So I will catch you guys next week. Talk to you later. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for watching. Click, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Next week.